All right.
Dude, nice.
We are live.
Dude, this is awesome.
This
Can't
is
believe
exciting.
we're live. This is really cool. Your setup is really cool. I like your lighting.
I'm going to tell you guys right now, this hangout almost didn't happen. both Sidney and I were having like major difficulties. In fact, let's talk about that just really quickly so that we can get more people in the chat. But basically, what ended up happening was I've got a little Elgato unit, and oh, 1 second.
Oh, I see you.
Yeah. So I got the little Elgato unit, and that thing like ended up breaking, didn't work, it bricked. So I had to go with the Black Magic. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, I talked about like I had to buy like literally 2 different dongles to make this work. It's crazy. Like this hangout almost didn't happen, and then you had your little technical difficulties.
I did. So I literally ordered the stuff, and most of it arrived earlier this week. But the Thunderbolt 2 cable, because I have a MacBook or iMac Pro, it doesn't have. There's no cable for a USB-C to Thunderbolt 2. You have to buy that dongle. There you go, Apple. And so that just arrived. We just set it up literally like half an hour ago. I had to call Jason Vong to help me out with my camera settings.
Actually,
and literally the second before we went live, everything was fine.
Shout out to Jason Vong, because I literally was on the phone with him like up until the last minute. He is a superstar. He's like the live hangout guru, and he knows everything. So shout out to him.
Jason's on. Hey, Jason, how's it going, buddy? Big thanks to you. You're a lifesaver.
You are a lifesaver, dude. By the way, we are going to do a Q&A a little bit later on the show. So if you guys have questions, we will be looking through the chat. Let's talk about the One Light Challenge. For those of you that are just tuning in and don't know what it is, basically, Sidney challenged me to do a One Light Challenge, or to do the challenge, which is basically take a household light that you can find, whether it be a light bulb, a flashlight. In this case, you told me I had to use a flashlight, correct? That was the agreement. And I had to create a little short film that was 90 seconds or less. And it was a lot of fun. So I told him, you have to do the same thing, but I'm not going to give you a flashlight. And you ended up doing, I told you had to use matches. So that was interesting.
Which I was so mad at you for. I'm like, please don't say matches. Please don't say matches. And I'm like, dang it, you said matches.
So I got to say, I got to give you, Sidney, props, and I feel that you are the winner of the One Light Challenge between you and I. So,
thank you, dude. I appreciate it.
And I'll tell you why. And I think people are going to agree with me. So if you didn't watch Sidney's video, first of all, I think he was very creative in using foil paper. So the foil stuff, or it was like, what is that called? Is it foil, right? Like
foil.
Right. Yeah. So the foil,
aluminum foil.
Right, aluminum foil for like when you start cooking or whatever. I mean, it has a lot of uses, but he used that as a bounce, and that's something that you can find in any typical household item. I thought you were very creative. Obviously, using matches is a very difficult task, mainly because matches burn out, and you have to you're literally timed. So that's very challenging to do. I thought that was very, very creative. Now, I don't want to say like I cheated, but like the fog machine was something that, I mean, that's not something you're going to find in a household, So I don't know. I make you the winner, dude. You are the winner of the One Light Challenge. So
thank you very much.
Do you guys agree? Is what I want to
know. Your use of the flashlight was amazing. I mean, I never thought about using a haze to enhance the light, because you kind of made it its own character in a way, and I was drawn to it, and I'm like, that looks really cool. I didn't even think about that. And so props to you for making it look super cinematic.
Oh man, thanks, dude. I mean, it's an old trick in the book, but again, I think that you were a lot more creative. So a couple of things that we want to talk about, and the whole judging, and I think Sidney's going to agree with me. This was very, very difficult to judge. In fact, I think both him and I learned so much about this that I don't want to do this again. I don't mean that in a bad way. Meaning I love the challenge part, but I just don't like being the person to say who's going to win and who's not going to win. Just because I know, as a creator myself, and Sidney again is probably going to agree with me, is I know that everyone who participated in this event pretty much poured their heart and soul into this. And there was, you could tell a lot of people, they spent a lot of time and effort creating this. And trust me when I tell you guys, I wish I can give everybody everybody wins first prize, because It's just tough. It's a very tough challenge. And believe me when I say this, it was very hard, like between everybody, first, second, and third, like to say, gosh, no. I think we weren't really arguing, but we were discussing back and forth, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, they were all so good, and doing the challenge ourselves. And I mean, filming a short film by just using one source of light is probably one of the hardest things to do, because it really forces you to not just come up with a story, but to actually light it up and to make sure it's visible to the whole audience. And so, props to everyone who participated. Thank you so much. We were all very impressed with every single entry. You kind of blew us away with some of the stories that you guys came up with. And I had so much fun just looking through all the entries. And so mad props to everybody who entered.
Now, Sidney, let's talk about if you had to redo this one light challenge. Yeah. Like, what would you change? Like, what would you make different if you had to redo this all over again?
So, being that it's a challenge using only one light, that automatically made the whole theme somewhat horror, or in a way, which wasn't our intention. And so if I had to do this particular challenge again, I probably would have been more specific as far as maybe say something like, just because both Armando and I's films had more of a horror kind of theme to it, you don't have to do that genre. Try to do maybe a romantic comedy, maybe try to do something else, be creative. But a lot of the entries did go into the horror genre, which was okay. And I think, again, that's just the nature of using one light, to be in that genre. But I would definitely, probably, if I were to do this again, definitely say, hey, try other genres, just surprise us. How about you?
I agree. I would have stayed away from the whole horror theme. I just feel like the horror is like the easy thing to do. It's like I don't want to say it's like the default, it's like you have one light. And we all know that like being in a dark room with only one light can be very scary. So it just seems like that would be the natural thing to do. And like Sidney said, I think challenging yourself or maybe doing something romantic or kind of thinking really outside the box, I think I would have done something different. Okay, and I saw that. Like we saw a lot of people do the whole horror thing. And by the way, we didn't disqualify or say, they're not going to win because they did horror. Right. But we were looking for the people who really thought or started doing other things aside from horror, just because horror just seems like, again, the easiest thing to do. And by the way, we both did it. I mean, mine was a horror theme. Yours was a horror theme. But, thinking about it, I would definitely do something different. Now, did you have to cut anything out? Because I did. I had to I was actually going to post like a director's cut. I know that sounds silly, right? Okay. But there was actually a scene, and I'll tell you what I had to cut out. So there was actually a scene when I'm walking towards the faucet where I actually step on a toy, and it just kind of like with my foot, like beep, and it just kind of like gives me that jump scare. You know what I mean? But I already ran out of time. In fact, I actually went over by like 2-3 seconds out of the, because it was a 90-second limit. But really, the part where I went over, it was just a hashtag where it said one light challenge. I just wanted to emphasize to people to let them know that this is a one light challenge. But the actual movie itself was 90 seconds. It was just an end roll part that took it like 3 seconds over. But that I had to cut that part out. And I wanted to leave it because it was almost like suspenseful in a way. Like it made you jump before you got to the actual, faucet part, but it had to go. Did you have anything that you had to cut out in your film?
So with my film, I added, it was a mix of suspense / comedy. There were, up here in the screen, there were a couple of times where I had him do that so many times to the point where it was like just absolutely ridiculous, like almost, Andy Samberg digital SNL short kind of style. But again, I ran out of time. It was 90 seconds. And so, but I think with comedy, you got to have it timed so right that if you overdo it, it's just going to kill it. And so I had to cut out. I really like that sequence, but I had to cut that out. But yeah, I mean, but I think that's a challenge in itself. Like to come up with an entire story in 90 seconds, like that's hard. I went to a film school and they said like making commercials, 30-90-second commercials are much harder to do than actual films because you have a whole 2 hours to explain a story, right? Which make sense. So to tell an entire story within 30 to 90 seconds, that's pretty difficult. And I remember getting some tweets from people saying, dude, this is way too hard. I can't come up with a story in 30 seconds. But that was a good thing. I thought it was a really good exercise to quickly come up with a brief story, a 3-page script story or something like that, using minimal light, minimal gear. And so I know I was pushed to the limits as far as creativity goes. And I've been doing this for a long time. And so, literally with the foil concept, I was literally like looking around the kitchen, like, I need a bounce. What do I? And there was like the last sheet of aluminum foil. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Let's do this.
And I think that's why I like your whole approach, because I'm sure you have a bounce laying around in your studio somewhere.
Yeah.
You could have technically used. I mean, that was not like you would have not broken any rules by using an actual bounce board, like a legitimate bounce board. But you actually said, you know what? I'm not going to use a legitimate bounce board. I'm going to pick a household item. And that's why I feel like, I declare you the winner, because you actually went further. You took it even a step further. And by the way, that's what we did when we started judging you guys. We wanted to see like how you guys pushed yourself to not only create the story. I mean, story was very important too, guys. It wasn't just about using the one light, everything, the story, how you guys used it, the behind the scenes, like it was a combination of a lot of things. And, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I definitely do want to do it again. But again, the hardest part is the judging part. So I think that I would leave that to somebody else, because I feel bad. You know what I mean? It's just like so many great creators, and it's like, and believe me, it's like, I wish there was a lot, everybody should win a prize, but it's tough, man.
This is our first, contest. We're definitely going to do more in the future. We'll make it even bigger than what it is now. But let's go ahead and talk about the prizes, the awesome prizes that were given out in this competition.
Yes, the sponsors. So when we started doing this competition, we had no sponsors. Sidney and I just literally said, you know what, let's do this challenge, and let's try to inspire other people, but at the same time, like, let's see if we can give a prize away. We initially just had like a grand prize winner. That was going to be our thing, where Sidney and I were going to spend our own money to put up for whatever the prize was going to be. Then I thought about it, and I said, you know what, I'm sure we can reach out to a couple of companies out there, and they can sponsor or help. I'm sure that this will help the community out. So I do want to thank a huge shout out, because these guys came in clutch. These guys were very open to the idea. Obviously, in my opinion, they are helping small creators. You know what I mean? And to me, that is very important, because YouTube is still in its infancy. Like, we're not Hollywood. We're not like, this big organization or anything like that. Although YouTube is a big platform, but we're still small creators, and the fact that these companies trust us, and they're willing to support us and support you guys mainly, because we're not getting the prizes, support you guys as creators yourself. A huge shout out to B&H Photo, Black Magic, Brevity. We have Aperture Lights. Who else am I missing, man? We have so many sponsors. Who else?
You mentioned B&H, and I think that was
I don't want to miss anybody. We have Epidemic Sound. So we have that.
That's right.
Yeah. Epidemic Sound. Right. So you want to talk about what each category is going to get? Let's do that. I think we're kind of running late a little bit, so we might have to load up the spreadsheet that we have. So you want to do that really quick? Sorry, guys. We literally, like, I almost was going to cancel this until tomorrow, because we had so much technical difficulties that we don't have anything even loaded up on our computers, which we were going to have beforehand. I literally hit this. I mean, we were already like a couple minutes late. So let me load up the spreadsheet if you don't already have it, Sidney.
Yeah, the good thing about a live stream is that everything is live. No, all your mistakes are over here. So
I know,
I'm
right?
having trouble with my Wi-Fi at the moment, but over here. But I do know third place is going to get a Brevity backpack, the Brevity roll top. And so Brevity is an awesome up and coming backpack company that I love. The amazing brothers, and that really love the storytelling aspect of filmmaking, photography, and they really support us creators, small and big, just to go out there and film awesome stories. But here is a bag that you can carry all your stuff in, and their stuff is great. And so so Brevity is sponsoring backpack for the third place winner, and so we're happy to give that away. And was there another one for third place? Pretty sure there was.
We also have Epidemic Sound.
That's right.
Epidemic Sound is sponsoring 6 months of their basically royalty-free music. So that's really cool. They're also doing 6 months for second place and 1 year for first place. I've been using Epidemic Sound for, I want to say, almost 2 years now. That's where I get most of my music. I would say like 90% of the music that you see on my videos come from Epidemic Sound. They're awesome. I mean, there's a lot of cool soundtracks on there.
Yeah, and creators like Peter McKinnon uses them, yep. Maddie from Travel Steals, like just a whole bunch of people just using Epidemic Sound to create the soundtrack. And so so for those of you that are looking for music for their content, and Epidemic Sound is a great platform to use, and it's going to be amazing for the winners that get to use this platform. And so let me ask you first, did you have trouble finding music like for this contest?
It's so funny because I actually used Epidemic Sound. I just literally typed in like scary or horror. And,
oh, did you? That's cool.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, and if you go back and watch it, I mean, it matched so perfectly. Even like by the way, that last part where like I jump out of the mirror. That was actually, I used that sound actually came from their library, so that was really cool.
So they actually have sound effects as well.
They have sound effects too, yeah. And I don't remember what I typed to get that sound effects. It had something to do with like, what was it, like horse something? Like it was weird, but it was under like their horror theme, which is really cool. But yeah, they have a lot of cool stuff. I am having difficulties trying to find that spreadsheet, and I apologize. Like I said, we were already running late, so I guess I don't want to skip through that because these guys were awesome to give us the opportunity to obviously give you guys all this cool stuff. So let me try and find this. This is embarrassing actually. And I don't want to log out of my Gmail account because I feel like the stream is going to die. So that's why I'm using my phone over here.
Oh, totally. In the meantime, while Armando finds that, I'm just kind of looking through the chat. If you guys have any questions while we're, talking about the challenge and announcing the winners, if you have any questions about collaboration, about lighting, because obviously it's one light challenge, things like that, we're more than happy to answer that, for you guys. But I'll give a couple of shout outs. David Sheeran, he says, Armando. Josh Haynes, give free LUTs to all the entries. You know what? That's cool. I'm going to give away my LUTs to all the, well, maybe not all the entries. Maybe, you know what? No, I'm going to give free LUTs to all the entries.
That's awesome.
Just because,
awesome.
You did a lot of hard work, and I want to get you guys with that. And so I'll send out an email, and I'll give you like a little promo code, and you can download all my LUTs and Lightroom presets. So that's a great idea. Whose idea was that? That
is awesome. And by the way, I found the list.
Haynes. Oh, did you? Okay, cool. Yeah. So Josh Haynes, your wish is granted. All the entries get free LUTs and presets. Sweet. So there you go.
Nice.
So you got the document?
I got the list. So let's go over the list. Let's go over the prizes so everybody knows what they're going to win. So third place, Aperture sponsored an M9 light. So I think a lot of YouTubers have that light, the little baby light, which is awesome. It's like a perfect carry-on. In fact, I think
it's like the best light in the world. Slip it in your pocket. Oh my gosh, I love that thing.
Peter McKinnon actually just did a video on their it's kind of like a newer version of the M9 light. It's like the MX,
light, which is a beefy version. Yeah.
B&H Photo, $50 gift card also for third place winner, which is cool, man, because you can go out and get whatever it is that you need. It doesn't really matter, that extra $50, whether it's a lens and it's going to help you, spend or save an extra $50. I mean, that is awesome. Black Magic is giving a full license of DaVinci Resolve, which is awesome. I've been trying to learn DaVinci Resolve, and I just I want to do it. I need to spend some time. If there's somebody out there that knows DaVinci Resolve, I would love to just tag along and spend like 3 days with them and master it, because Premiere frustrates me a lot. And as we said,
if you're watching, teach us.
And then, as we said, Epidemic Sound, we have a 6-month subscription to Epidemic Sound. Now let's go over second place prizes. So we have the M9 Lite. So Aperture also sponsored another M9 Lite for the second place winner. We have from B&H Photo, we have $100 gift card from B&H Photo, which is awesome. And also B&H Photo is also sponsoring an Impact Light Kit. In fact, I think I tweeted out the prizes. You can go and look at that. B&H is sponsoring a lot of stuff. They're also sponsoring the Exelon 12,000 milliamp power bank, which is cool. And then, yeah, that's really cool. And also, DaVinci Resolve is doing another full license of their Resolve, or excuse me, Blackmagic is doing DaVinci Resolve. And then we have 6-month subscription to Epidemic Sound. Now, the grand prize, the big granddaddy, okay?
I'm so excited.
All right, so Aperture is sponsoring a 672 3-light kit. That thing is like almost $1,000, okay, which is awesome.
I love that light.
Yeah, that is great. B&H Photo is giving away $150 in a gift card, which is that is a lot of money. You know, that's great. They're also giving out the Luxley Cello, the 10-inch, which is a fantastic light. In fact, the light that you see over here is the Luxley Timpani, the one that you see over here, which I love. I actually did a video on. And then they're also, by the way, it's also RGB like that. They're also sponsoring a Spieltech gaming chair. So it's kind of like you won. That's like your throne. You relax.
You want a throne.
Yep. You have the Oben tripod. And I don't know if I'm missing something here because it's cutting off. Hold on. Just want to make sure. I'm not sure if I'm missing anything from there. I'll double check, but I'll skip that one just for now. So yeah, B&H Photo is giving a lot of stuff. Blackmagic Design, same thing. Another free license to their DaVinci Resolve. Epidemic Sound, the 1-year subscription to Epidemic Sound, and then we have the Brevity Roamer also for first place winner. So, but yeah, let's take some questions first really quick, and then we'll start announcing the winners because we still have this is going to be a 1-hour show. We started a little bit late, but think about maybe like 7 o'clock-ish is when this stream will end. So we want to hear from you guys. So we'll be looking through the chat and start asking some questions, and then we'll go ahead. You want to start off first, Sidney? Answer a couple questions?
Yeah. And so everyone is saying, I'm just kind of going through over here. Thanks to Josh Haynes, I'm giving away free LUTs, and so, which is totally cool. Everyone's saying the setup is looking crispy, and so I think that has to do with the Blackmagic mini recorder that we're both using and learning. Because we're filming with our cameras, not our webcam. And so I looked 24 frames a second, and thanks to Jason Vong to help us kind of set it all up. That's why it looks so crispy.
Jason, so, I owe you some talking.
So yeah, big learning lesson. Let's see. Howdy from Texas. Everyone from Texas. Yeah, where's everybody from? We got some from California. What's going on, guys? Everyone's shouting out to Jason Vong. That's cool. Caleb is on. So hey, what's going on, Caleb? DSLR video shooter. And let's see. I think everyone's anxious to hear who the winners are. What do you say?
Should we just go and do the winners? What do you guys think, guys? Should we hit that like button right now? Let us know that you guys want to see who the winners are.
Okay, so let's.
Oh gosh! Hold on. Initial focus. Armando, did you disqualify everyone who didn't use Canon? How did you know? How did you know?
To be fair, the contest was held before the announcement of the Canon EOS R, so there you go.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's announce third place. We'll answer a couple more questions, and then we'll announce second place. We'll answer a couple more questions, and then we'll do the grand prize. Does that sound good? Everybody kosher? Go ahead, man.
Winner for our very first One Light Challenge is... Well, there's no title for the thing. It's just called One Light Challenge, but it's by a creator called by the name of Josh Haynes. Josh, congratulations! You were the third place winner, my man. It is a great short film. We both love what you did, And the reason, I wish we could play. Can we play it back? I don't know if we can play it back.
Well, I don't want to play it back. I'll tell you why, because I have everybody queued up, like who the creators are, and they're gonna, yeah. So, but yeah, I wish there was a way. I mean, we can do it, but then it'll people will be able to see who the other runners are. But
perfect. So, Josh, we loved your short film mainly because, well, we actually were talking about that today, but because it was a one light challenge, it was hard to bring light into life. And so what you did, you created this really cool anamorphic effect to it, which was really cool because it almost created a character in itself as you were in that room. And so I was like, cinematically I was drawn to it, but it was a clean look. You really popped that light, and I thought technically it was a very good short film. And so there you go. That's why you won third place.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty much what Sidney said. Very well done. Exactly. It's so true what he said. The anamorphic, it gave it a completely, obviously anamorphic is very special in the sense where it enhances light. And it's just that characteristic that it just made everything, again, look very cinematic. So that was really, really cool. And again, it was very difficult to challenge. And believe us when we tell you this was so hard to basically find a winner. Everybody's a winner, I think, in my book. But yeah, for this challenge, you are the third place winner. Let's see what people have to say about this. Josh is in the house. Josh, thanks, guys. It was so much fun. Cool, man. Dude, you are awesome.
Said, hey, give everybody free lunch.
What happened?
Oh, there was a guy that said, hey, give everybody free lunch.
Oh, nice. There you go. And you get a free let.
You get a lot, and you get a lot.
I know. He's like, can we play that meme? You get a lot.
Yeah. Connor says, I like the little monologue at the beginning. It's cool. Initial Focus says, I love Josh's film. That's awesome. You're getting lots of love on the chat, Josh. So congrats to that.
Yeah, Josh. And by the way, if you guys did not watch his video, literally go on YouTube, type in one light challenge, Josh Haynes. Very well done. Everybody, in fact, just do hashtag one light challenge and watch everybody's videos.
Yeah.
Everybody did such a great job. So let's all congratulate Josh Haynes for a job well done.
Yeah, and again, if you're using like limited light, adding some sort of anamorphic look to it definitely does add some production value. So whether you have the plugin from Video Copilot, or if you have some fishing wire and you attach it to the front of your lens to do that fake anamorphic, or buy an adapter, there are ways to enhance your video production quality. Just your research and just take your time with it.
By the way, what's up, Paul Tech in the house?
What's up, Paul?
Tech. A lot of congratulations to Josh. That was awesome. Now, I will say, first and second place winner, boy, was that tough. And when we say it was so close, it was like if this was a drag race, we're talking like 0.1 second, like millisecond. Like that's how close it was between second and first place winner. Do you agree, Sidney?
Totally. It was like Vin Diesel, Paul Walker racing side by side. It was that close. Rest in peace, Paul Walker.
Yeah, man. It was so close. It was like sometimes I was like, no, that person should win. It's like, no. It's like we were just both like, finally we just both agreed, like, okay, so let's sit down. Who's gonna be first and second? And we're like, I think this person should be first and second. And we're like, yeah, I agree. Because it was just that little bit. So Sidney, do you want to let people know who's second place?
So the second place winner is okay. So second place winner is by a short film called Gone, and that's by Michael Tobin. And Michael, if you're in the house, the reason why we chose your short film was because you kind of went out of the horror genre and you made a suspense film it's a kidnapping story, using headlights. And so I thought that was so creative, and you even tweeted me like, hey, can I use headlights, even though it's not a household item? I'm like, that totally works for me. But your use of one light was just so clever that even if you had all the lights in the world to film that scene, I would have done headlights too. And so that's why we chose your film. And also, it was a really good story. I was intrigued. It was very cinematic, right? It looked like a movie.
Fun fact, I kid you not, I was watching his video on my TV. I was actually watching on TV. My wife comes in and she tells me, what show are you watching on Netflix? Like, that's how good, like, it, and I kid you not, like, I recommend, you watch his video on a television, like, Chromecasted to a television. It is so well, like, it looks so cinematic that it looks like it was, like, it looks like, I mean, it looks like a real freaking movie, you know? By the way,
Dude, that's awesome.
he is in the house. He is going, his username is Initial Focus. That is,
okay.
yeah.
What's going on, dude?
Yeah, man. So congratulations, man. You did a phenomenal job. And trust me when I tell you this, it was so difficult judging between you being second and first. I mean, it was like we said, Paul Walker, you know, and it was hard. But trust me, but everybody did a job well done. But yeah, that thing looked like a movie, dude. My wife was like, oh, I told her, no, it's a YouTube video. She's like, that's a YouTube video? I'm like, yeah. She goes, it looks like a movie. I know. It looks great, doesn't it? It's like, yeah. So that was really cool, dude. That was really awesome.
That was cool. Yeah. And I think that's an encouragement to everybody, you know, for a challenge like this. Like if a creator can, you know, create a cool story that's intriguing and captivating and looks beautiful, you know, and can almost look like a Netflix movie. I mean, I think that gives hope to everybody. And almost maybe light a fire in everyone just to go out there and start creating, and just to come up with whatever story that's in your mind, write it down, and then use your resources. You know, grab some friends, help you out. You know, if your only bounce is an aluminum foil, then dude, use it. And so I think it's again, this competition is so good because it really forces you to get out of the whole, you know, the best stories have the best gear or whatever. Like that's not true at all. And so, I mean, we may have like nice gear, but we worked hard for it. We really did. But we all started from scratch, didn't we? And so, so again, you know, it's let it be an encouragement to everyone that you can make an incredible story by using what you have.
Also, too, shout out to the actors and actresses in that little short film. They did a phenomenal job. I mean, I don't know if they're your friends or if you hired them on Craigslist. I don't know. I mean, but they did an awesome job, dude. So as a team, let them know. I don't know if they're watching this with you, but let them know they did a phenomenal job with their acting skills. And I don't even know if that's what they do for a living, if they're actors. But if they don't, maybe they should, because they're spot on, man. They did a really good job. Totally.
Okay, so that is second place. All right. Now, on to first place. Ooh,
do we really want to do it? Or should we be with like those shows that drag it on till forever? I don't know. What do you think?
Don't Ryan Seacrest this
after the break. After the break, guys. I know. All right. Let's answer a couple more questions in the chat.
Okay, good idea. Yeah.
Right. So we're looking in the chat. You guys are, you know, obviously next challenge, one light, one room, one camera. That's pretty cool. Kyler Holland, by the way. Hey, thanks, buddy. Also a cool dude, another YouTube creator, very good channel. Check him out. Kyler Holland. If you guys don't know who he is. Initial Focus, they were amateur actors who happened to be friends. They all did great. Yeah, dude, absolutely. They did a phenomenal job, man. Any difficult parts about collaborating? Sidney, go for it. That's a good question for you.
Yeah, so actually I'm glad you brought that up, because you know, we're starting with someone, you know, that in itself presents, you know, some obstacles. For Armando and I, we don't live in the same state. We don't live in the same city. And so I actually live in Texas and he lives in California. I actually used to live in California. In fact, we actually used to live like 15 miles away from each other, but we didn't know it.
So sad. So sad.
So sad. I will be in California in the next couple of months. But yeah, so collaborating with another YouTuber from another state, definitely has its problems, but what we did right off the bat was we just communicated right away. And so Armando was like, you were really good at saying, hey, these are the issues that we need to tackle. These are the things we need to do. Let's have a Google sheet. Let's just over communicate so that we're always on the same page and refer to. And so organization is key. I think over communicating is key. And also it goes back to just, you know, being on set too. Like there's a lot of collaboration on set anyway. And so there's going to be a lot of give and take, a lot of things that, you know, one person might say that you may not agree with, and that's okay. But when you kind of toss in your ideas and you're open to accepting other people's ideas, then better ideas will always, 100% always brew up. And so, and I did find that, with you, Armando, like this competition turned out to be way bigger than I ever thought, way better than I ever thought. And I think it's because of that collaboration and your willingness to, be open to ideas and try this and try that. And also just, knowing that we're on the same page, on the same team with one single goal. And that's to create a challenge to help inspire other creators. And so, yeah, that was my takeaway for this.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I mean, it was a lot of fun. I've never done anything like this. And initially, I mean, Sidney reached out to me, obviously, regarding this challenge. And to me, it was just a lot of fun. And sometimes as a content creator, YouTuber, we kind of, we get into this like routine of videos. And it felt so good to step away from that routine and work with somebody else to create something different. And like Sidney said, this was a video, or this challenge was to inspire others. Like, I mean, there's like no benefit for us in any way in terms of like financial benefit is what I mean. Like, we're not getting paid to do this or anything like that. Like, we genuinely want to inspire others. And at the same time, and that was the whole thing about the sponsorship deals. It's like, we want to give back to the community because, we do have a couple, 100,000 or subscribers and stuff like that. So we do have a little bit of pull. And if we can help, smaller creators and smaller channels, and maybe even somebody who doesn't have a large budget, but they're very creative, and help them kickstart some stuff and maybe fund with like, obviously the money that B&H is putting out, the lights and all the additional accessories that all these companies are donating, for the grand prize winner, that would be awesome for somebody who doesn't have all that gear. So again, thank you everybody who participated, because it means a lot to us too. And it's just awesome. Like, when I sat down and watched everybody's video, it felt, I'm going to tell you guys, it felt very cool to know that Sidney and I created something that inspired other people to get other people to get out and do something. And that was pretty amazing, guys. Like, you guys are awesome just for doing that.
Yeah, I mean, Armando, you have a bigger following, and we're not in the millions,
No.
and and I think the stigma of like, oh, if I become a big creator one day, I'm gonna inspire people. It's like, no, like, you can inspire people now. Like, if you have 50 subscribers, 100, 1, or 100,000, 300,000, whatever. I think you have to know who you are. You have to know what your whole goal for your career in filmmaking is, the whole YouTube thing. Like, we have a similar passion, Armando and I, and we just want to give back, and we just love it. And like Armando said, he said it perfectly. Like, just the fact that, in the behind the scenes videos, like, people say, hey, this is for Armando and Sidney, we're going to do this. Like, the fact that you even stayed up late to woke up early or went to a desert or wherever to participate in our competition, like, this is so humbling and so incredibly awesome. And it just feels good. And so, if anything, like Armando said, like, we did not get paid to do this at all. Like, that is our payment. Like,
and by the way, even the sponsors, nobody reached out to us. I want to clarify that we reached out to them. So like, for example, Sidney reached out to Brevity because he's worked with them in the past. He also reached out to Aperture because he's worked out, and I've worked with Aperture myself too. So we reached out to brands that we've had communication, whether it be from like trade shows or just like, other previous sponsorship deals or anything like that. So we reached out to them and said, hey, we have this idea. Would you be open? Like, anything you could provide for us, like, we would be more than happy, and these companies responded. So again, I do want to give a thank you to, B&H Photo, Aperture Lights, Black Magic, Brevity, Epidemic Sound, because these guys stepped up and are giving back to the community, which I think is huge. There's actually a really good question here, which is what we were just talking about right now. I think I lost it here. Hold on. The chat room is going a little quick here. Hold on. Give me 1 second. It was actually from Kyler Holland. Where is it? I just missed it. Oh, here it is. For collaborating, what is the best way to stay organized for each of you? Emails, Google Docs, texting, calling. I guess I'm going to say all of them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so, I mean, I think the Google Docs helps, like, just remind us, like, oh yeah, we said this. These are our this is what we said. When we talked. We traded numbers. We texted each other. We called each other up. Even DMs through Instagram. Like, any way of communication, it's become so broad now. We just want to make sure that we just keep in touch. And maybe we should have done like, all right, let's meet up, chat maybe once or twice a week or something like that. We weren't too consistent, but I think overall, considering the size of the competition, I thought we did pretty well as far as communicating goes.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, we did a combination of things. Like Google Docs was very helpful because what
Mm.
we would do is like we would write down ideas and we would both collaborate and stuff like that. Obviously text messaging, your phone's always with you. So if you just need like a quick, hey buddy, what about this? Or, the text message obviously is a lot faster. And like you said, sometimes, maybe I saw Sidney doing something because you were actually you were out of the country for a while.
I was
So
in England on vacation, and then we were still communicating with each other on my vacation. But but again, if you're going to commit to something like this, you have to carve out time and respond to whoever's collaborating with you. It's a give and take relationship kind of thing, and it's the only way for a collab like this to succeed.
absolutely. By the way, shout out to Carlos Quintero, my boy, from Fargo. Shout out, dude. You
Oh,
are
what's up,
awesome.
Carlos?
Yeah, man.
We got
Let's see.
Mandar from India. What's going on? Good
Nice.
afternoon or good morning to you guys out there.
Armando, Kirk Hammett with spiked hair. I wish, dude. By the way, huge fan of Kirk Hammett. I love Metallica, but no way, dude. He's awesome, man. I do not look like Kirk Hammett.
Here's one from Shane. He says, have you ever considered doing one-to-one review sessions of other channels, giving feedback, even charge for one? That's a cool idea, but I think those are good ideas for like meetups or in-person, meetups, I think, because you have that relationship. And so that might even be, for like, I don't know, consultation, but that's more private, not necessarily
Right.
on a live YouTube thing, I don't think.
Let's create a Facebook group, somebody said. By the way, I'm actually planning. Oh, what happened? Did it cut off? Or okay, sorry. Somebody said that the stream got, or the hangout got cut off, but I mean everybody seems to be okay, but I think we're still good.
Depends on your internet, I guess.
Yeah. Sorry. Hi from San Antonio. Hi from Flagstaff. You guys are awesome. Congrats.
I was just in San Antonio. I love San Antonio. Riverwalk's awesome.
Hey, don't you live in Texas?
I do. Yeah, it's like a couple hours away from me.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's see. Can you guys upload the video link of first and second winner? So what we're gonna do is when the live stream is over and this video goes to the regular feed, I'm gonna update the description, and I'm gonna put first, second, and third place winner in the description. And I'm also gonna create a playlist later today with everybody's entry. So if you guys want to watch everybody's entry, you guys can go ahead and just watch this playlist. I will most likely tweet it. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, I mean, you don't have to follow me, but like just look for me and I'll tweet it out probably later tonight or possibly tomorrow if it gets too late. But yeah. So I think it's almost 7 o'clock. I think it's time to announce the first place winner. Maybe let's just answer one more question, and then we'll announce the first place winner. I think you got a question for you, Sidney. You need to hit. Oh, go ahead. That's your question, dude. Or wait.
Is it? I can't see it.
Sidney, you need to hit the green belt in Austin. Very nice.
Oh yeah, you know what? Texas is like a country in itself, so there's definitely I've got time to explore all that stuff. But shout out to Joe Ash joining in from Riverside, my old stomping grounds, SoCal. What 951?
Wait, we're talking Riverside, California?
Yeah, Riverside, California.
Dude, I'm like, no joke. Riverside's like 20, 25 minutes away from where I am right now.
Totally. Inland Empire. What?
Dude, you got to come back, man.
All right. Is everyone ready? I think I'm ready to announce the number one.
Sidney announced the first place winner. Go for it, buddy.
All right. So the first place grand prize winner for our very first One Light Challenge is Connor Wiley with the short film Low Tech. Congratulations, Connor. You made an amazing short film, and we're going to explain why. So most of the entries, and it's not a bad thing, most of the entries, kind of entered into the horror genre, which was totally okay. Again, very natural if you're using One Light. I get it. We both entered a horror genre film. But what Connor did was so different and unique. It immediately grabbed my attention because it wasn't horror at all. In fact, it was a very, very sweet film. It wasn't a romantic comedy. It was just it was like a normal scene, but it was a very sweet scene where basically there was a blackout and he had a flashlight to light up, the house with him and his girlfriend or wife. And they played games together, they read together and all that stuff. It was really sweet. And so I thought it was a very practical way to use one light to tell a story, because it's very realistic. And, in California, there's a lot of blackouts. And so it made sense. And so that stood out to me the most. The fact that you turned a challenge, a limitation of light source, but made it into a very practical and realistic situation. But on top of that, layered on a very sweet story on top. And so that's why you won first place.
You hit us with the emotional chord, which was something that nobody else had done. That emotional chord of like, you know what? I don't want to like watch television, use technology. Like I want to have that human interaction. You know what I mean? And I feel that that's missing a lot in today. Like if you look around, everybody's on their smartphone. Like you go to a cafe, you go to a restaurant, and it's sad to say there's like little kids that are like 7-year-old and they're just like playing on their phone instead of like having that communication. So I feel like you really went out of like, what everybody else was doing. And like I said, you hit us with that emotional chord that I actually felt something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh, that was like warm. That was like, like I said, it felt really home. And it was just like, dude, that was it. Like, I think both Sidney and I, like, without a doubt, like we were like, that was it. Now, going back to why it was so difficult was, between first and second was because Initial Focus or Michael Tobin, your video was so well done. Like it was well shot, everything executed, composition, it was like textbook, dude. Like you hit all the freaking notes. Like, again, it was like a movie, but that emotional chord, it's a thing, dude. Like it was just missing that emotional chord. Like it didn't, and I don't mean that in a negative way, dude. Like you're a phenomenal creator. I'm subscribed to you. But it was just that emotional chord that just took it over the top. It was like the Fast and the Furious. It was just that nitrous shot, dude, that just like propelled that video. And we love that. We really love that that short film.
Yeah, and I think you took the heart of the competition where we would limit all the fancy gear, all the lights, the 120Ds, all that stuff, but you just use one single light source, strip everything away and you just focus on that. You took the heart, the concept and the heart of it, of the competition, and you kind of made it your own in this short film by removing all the fancy stuff. I forgot what you shot with, but it didn't matter because, I was so drawn into the story. I wasn't thinking about, oh, you use this lens or that camera, whatever. But the fact that you stripped all that away and simplified it by, coming up with this very cute, heartfelt story, that saying, like, you make a good film, you want to suspend people's disbelief. Like for those 90 seconds, like they were suspended. I'm like, I was so drawn into it. And so well done. That's why you won. And I think that's a good lesson for everybody, to not think about just the gear, the camera. It's none of that stuff, but to come up with something and reach deep down into your creative soul, if you will, and tell a story that's meaningful. And I think that's a lot of things what Armando said, that's missing a lot in today's content on YouTube. I will say that. But if we do more things, what Connor did, I think we're going to see much better content in the future. And so congrats, Connor. Amazing job. Phenomenal. And well deserved.
Yeah, actually he's in the chat room right now. And I do want to say something that Michael Tobin said, Initial Focus, on the chat room, which is he's a second place winner. And he said, Armando, Sidney, 100% agree with your decisions. As soon as I watched theirs, I knew it would win. Story should always win above anything else. And that was it. And but I mean, like I said, everybody did a great job. But that was the emotional chord was the winning, the deciding factor, basically. Thanks. This is from Connor. Thanks, Sidney and Armando. I am glad to send out the feels. Dude, thank you for creating that short film. I didn't cry, he said.
I didn't cry.
I'm sorry if I can't pronounce her name properly. Is it Saif Hussein? As soon as I seen Connor's, I got the emotional tone too, and was thinking, damn, this homie just killed it. By the way, you had also a really great short film. Yours was the one with the where you were inside a tent, right? Am I not?
Oh, yes. That's right. That was close too.
Dude,
That was up there.
that was up there. I mean, I love that. That was with the helicopter, right? That was your short film. Yes, he's saying yes. That I love. Sidney, Armando. Come on. That was good, man. All of these, by the way, all of these were so good, and everybody had the opportunity, to be, first, second, or third place winner. It was really difficult, guys. It was really, really difficult.
Yeah, but nonetheless, all participants will get some free LUTs as a thank you from us and for you guys to use to help equip you. To the winners, congrats. We hope that the prizes, the gear that you have, will help enhance your storytelling career. Hope equip you, and for everybody else, just watching, let it be an encouragement for to let it be something that'll light you up to start telling stories and not focus on the other things like the new Canon camera that came out or the new Sony camera. Like that's fine, that's fun. It really is fun, and we both love that. But first and foremost will always be story.
Absolutely, man. So I think we're gonna wrap this up. I do want to thank everybody that came into the stream, and also all the sponsors. We'll probably just answer maybe like 2 or 3 more questions and then just kind of wrap this up. Let's see. Can
we just call you both Mondo?
What did he say?
He said, "Can we just call you both Sidmondo?"
Nice. Brown Boy, can I submit mine to you to check out even if the challenge is over? Absolutely. If anybody wants to do the one light challenge, and just wants us to see it, like, dude, or guys or girls, it doesn't matter. Send us the video, tweet at us, whatever. I mean, Sidney's actually really good at responding to everybody, and I try to do the same. So whether it's Twitter, Instagram, whatever social platform, absolutely. If you guys want to participate and do the one light challenge, by all means, that'd be awesome. Josh Haynes, congrats to all entries. Everyone did great. It's all about growing and learning. Absolutely.
That's right. Absolutely.
So yeah, all right. Congratulations to all the winners, and I think we're gonna wrap this up, guys. Once again, thanks for everybody that tuned in, and also the sponsors. I will be updating this stream and putting all the winners if you guys want to watch them, and also create a playlist. And I'll leave also Sidney, if you're not subscribed to him, make sure you do so. He makes some awesome content. I love your stuff, dude.
Thanks, bro. Likewise.
Yeah, and hopefully we can do this again very soon, guys. So thanks again for stopping by, and
we definitely have ideas. And actually, there's one more question. Actually, it might be a good one to end it off. It says, "What are your tips for producing a strong story within a short time frame?" That's a really good question.
Yeah, we got to answer that, and then we're gonna wrap this up. Go for it, Sidney.
So I would say start off with just a concept, anything, write it down, and just let things inspire you. Whether you're listening to music or out there in Starbucks, just kind of on your computer or on a notepad, just let things inspire you. I know music inspires me a lot. I like to listen, on stuff through MusicBed and Soundstripe and just even on Spotify. And sometimes that will trigger something, and so you just kind of have to let it flow. Don't force it. Definitely don't force it. And if you want to do in a short time frame, act quick. It's all simple as that.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with him. Also, whenever you're in a tight crunch like that, I always tell, like, if you're just, let's say, for example, you're taking a shower, you're doing, you're just lounging around. If the idea hits you, write it down as quickly as possible. Because a lot of times I tend to forget. Like, I'll have the idea, and then it's like I didn't write it down, and then I knew it was a good idea, but then I ended up forgetting. Maybe just because I'm older and I'm forgetting. But I always try to write things down. Like, I have a list of over like 100 YouTube videos that I want to produce, just of ideas that just come up. And whenever I have these thoughts, I just like write them down. But other than that,
cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So thanks again, guys. Follow Sidney, and you'll catch me in the next one.
All right,
Adios.
guys.